welcome back to my channel. I'm Deanna and you're watching Orchid. I just want to do a quick update of my upstairs grow space, which has again been reshuffled. So you'll see that there's a new stand there now, which has replaced that little 3-tier stand that was there previously. So those 3-tier stands are the ones that I keep out on the front balcony, which I was using through summer, so they would have to go out there eventually anyway, but along with that, Jared kept stubbing his toe on it on the way up the stairs, so yeah, I was forced to replace it with something a bit more practical. But I think this looks really nice, and you can see it's getting some nice western afternoon sun through that window, and I'm still utilizing that bottom shelf and just using some grow lights there. So this has really sparsed out these shelves over here, and I've gotten rid of the orchids that were down there. But yeah, I thought we might as well just have a quick look around and see what's happening. So I'll start up on this shelf, and we've got my Colmanara Wildcat variety Bloodshot, which was featured in my last Orchids in Bloom video, but you can see she's nearly in full bloom now. One more flower to go. This colour is just fabulous. She's so pretty. You can see that some of the lips have a little bit of white coming through. Some of them are just completely red, and it's actually got a yellow base on the petals and sepals. I'll show you the back of it. You can see that there's like a significant yellow or lightness on the back, whereas if you look at the front, it just looks completely different. So it just gives that beautiful contrast through there. I've got Gongora nigrita here, which is the Gongora that had that massive 1.3 meter bloom spike with 16 little dragon flowers on it, and it's maturing its new growth quite nicely. But I just noticed a couple of little things happening. So can you see that little nubbin down there? And then there was this as well. So I've never been able to tell on this plant what has been a flower spike or a new growth, because this is an immature growth, nothing's happening yet, and it's previously flowered on mature growths, so no idea what it thinks it's doing, but very curious. All my twinkles have lost their flowers now. This is Ballara Peggy Ruth Carpenter, still in bloom, and she's got a new growth coming out of a previous bulb. Got a little dendrobium with a new growth back there, and this is Betty Shiraki, who hasn't bloomed on this newest growth, but she's got 2 new growths starting there. And these mottled paphs are doing really well. I mean, they're not doing much in the way of flowering, but they are growing really nicely. They're always quite happy in their little home on this upstairs grow space area. These guys here have all been grown from seedling, and yeah, I've had them for about 18 months, all of them, and yeah, they're doing well, but I'd love to see them flower at some stage. And this is Delanatii, and it was so little when I got her, and yep, she's got a little second growth coming up there, growing well. Same with this one. This is meant to be like a bit of an albiform Yi Ying green coral with another growth that has developed over the past year, and the bigger one still growing strong. This one has been in flower for us previously, but I did notice recently, where is it? Oh, yep. See a little growth starting there, so very good sign. But yeah, not much else to report from the mottled paphs. Down here we've got bunch of seedlings just kicking on, and a couple of those repotted cataseedums are here. The rest are actually downstairs. I've got a few of my species phals up here. Let me just, turn the lights off. And they're doing okay. They don't tend to do a lot over winter, but Marie's just started growing this root and a new leaf that I've just noticed. The Schilleriana here as well. You see the new leaf coming out through there. It had some damage on that leaf. Spalena's got a new leaf. Violacea with a new leaf there. And Cornu cervi's just sitting pretty, not doing very much. So I've got mostly dendrobiums, a few oncidiums up here. So the top shelf, I won't bother getting all of them down, I'll just show you a couple of them, but this is Dendrobium samurai, and it's growing a couple of new growths, new roots popping out there, but they're growing out of canes that are still moving. So you can see this one's still growing, and this one here is still growing, and you can see the size of that new cane there. It's probably approaching a foot tall, and I got this one as near flowering size about a year and a half ago, so I really hope it flowers for me. It's doing really well, it's really strong, so I would hope that that's flowering size. The other one I want to show you that's probably not doing so great is this one. This is Densi Oka. Last season it grew this, and I thought maybe I got some water in the crown and it just went a little bit black and stopped growing. It had a new little growth that was growing well, and look what's happened. The newest leaf has gone black. So I'm thinking that that's a sign of calcium deficiency. I've actually got another Cattleya downstairs which is sort of doing the same thing. It's Cattleya Ida Elizabeth Enchanting, which keeps trying to bring up a new growth, and then it goes black and dies off. You know, I've treated it with dolomite, calcium soaks, all sorts, and we'll just have to wait till spring to see if it has an available eye to bring out another one. But yeah, this one seems to be doing the same thing. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Oh, that leaf is broken. But yeah, I'm going to try with some calcium supplementation first and see how it goes. Down here we've got our repotted Mystic Maze. This is Banfieldara Gilded Tower Mystic Maze, growing a bunch of roots, and I did notice it's got new growth coming up there too. So I'm not sure if you guys will recall, but it had two growths starting from a previous bulb, which I thought was quite odd, and we repotted it together. But yeah, it's growing new roots, it's got a new growth there, so I'm pretty happy with that. There were rumours that this one did not like repotting, that it didn't handle stuff very well, and yeah, I think its old roots aren't doing too well, but it is growing some new roots quite well, so that's all that matters. Nellie Isla. Miss Nellie Isla. I want to show you guys her because look at her root system. I don't see any problems there. Look at these enormous bulbs. They are the two new bulbs. They are bigger, plumper, fatter than the previous ones. Look at its leaves. It gets lots of light, gets fed well, it gets treated like a princess, and she won't bloom for me. Wish it would just get its act together. This one and my Catatante, they both have beautiful new plump growths that have been given good amount of light all season, and neither of them have brought out new growths yet, so I'm still hopeful for blooms, but I'm getting a little bit impatient, I think. So I just really want to see the flowers. As you can see down here, I've got a picture of Amelia Isla from Miss Orchid Girl, but it would be really, really nice if I could see the same thing off my baby. Can't believe I nearly forgot to show you guys, but this is Dendrobium Little Green Apples. It's a Latoria type dendrobium, and it's grown at least 5 or 6 new canes this year, so it's doing really well. Noticed the other day, little flower spike there, one sneaking up down there as well, and found a third one just down there. So last year was its first blooming, and it only had one flower spike with 3 flowers on it. So I'm getting at least 3 spikes this year, if not more, because I've only just noticed those ones. So yay, very happy about that. So this shelf, mostly oncidiums, random dendrobium there. My pinguicula is doing really well. Look at those little flowers, and it's like doubled in size since I got it maybe 6-8 months ago. Just happily chugging along, eating my fungus gnats. Mr. Twinkle's lost all its flowers, and oh my god, it's growing like a million little cute growths coming up there. And same with my Shari baby. Looks really wrinkled on the screen, doesn't it? But it's actually doing really well. It's got heaps of new growths coming up as well. The Twinkles and Shari babies are super vigorous, so if you're a beginner and wanting to get into oncidiums, these guys are super easy. They love to remain evenly moist though, so they need really good hydration, but apart from that, I think they're pretty easygoing and really vigorous. And down on this bottom shelf, a little mix of Paphs and oncidiums and dendrobiums. I've got my Alisica Claire back here with a new growth here, and my seedling Heaven Sent Redolence here, and this new growth is looking to surpass the last one there fairly easily. A couple of Paphs, new little leaf starting up in here, I think. Yep. And do you guys remember unboxing this one with me? This is Asconopsis Yiching Amanda, and it's probably been about 6 weeks now, and I think it's stalled a little bit, but this leaf has definitely now started growing again, and it's feeling pretty well established in this pot, so hopefully growing some roots. Let's see if we can see anything, because that feels really sturdy. Oh, there we go. You can see that root in there. Looking good. Okay, and we'll do these guys last. Doesn't this guy look terrible? This is Cattleya amethystoglossa, and it's the one Cattleya that did terribly wintering outside. This is my first winter with it, and it was doing okay. Like, its newest growth was smaller than its previous ones, but yeah, I had it underneath my new grow light, and it just started getting a black leaf, and I thought maybe it was light damage, even though I know for a fact this is a very high light orchid. Anyway, I moved it down a shelf. It continued to happen, and yeah, so I figure it must be the cold. It's basically only got half a leaf left, but its root system is good, and I think that new growth is just starting to swell up there, so hopefully it does grow again very soon. Oncidium Sweet Sugar has finally lost all its flowers and has a new little growth starting up there. Oh, Wilsonara Tantrocious Puppy Pleasure. I actually ended up chopping off its flower spike. It's sitting in a little vase downstairs on our dining room table, but it was just getting really wrinkly, and it's not stabilizing in its pot, and I really want it to just grow some new roots and focus on the new roots rather than its blooms. So yeah, I ended up chopping off that flower spike for the sake of the plant. This is Dendrobium spectabile, which I am patiently waiting for flowers for. It's been over a year, and I haven't seen flowers yet. But there's a new growth starting there. Apparently a spring bloomer, so I have to continue waiting patiently. But Iwanagara apple blossom has a beautiful spike developing. Check that out. So I'm not sure if you guys remember the video when I got it back from my orchid babysitter. I did say I was very surprised that this guy hadn't bloomed because this was its newest cane, and although it did come to me without any roots, it has since grown a pretty impressive root system from that new cane, and yeah, I'm very pleased. This is a new bulbophyllum. This is a bulbophyllum echinolabium, and it was featured in a recent video. And last of all, my Psychopsis. Let's get it out of this pink light because it's really annoying. So this is its newest growth, and that was its last one actually. So you can see, well, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's actually a fair bit longer than that last one, but it's just seems a little bit narrower than the previous leaves. Not sure what that means. It's still been getting really pretty good light, certainly no less if not more than the previous two growths. But yeah, again, I got this one near flowering size. I would love to see it start developing a bloom spike. So for those of you who don't know, the Psychopsis is a sequential bloomer. Huge, big alien looking blooms, and this variety is Mendenhall Hildos, which I think is probably one of the more popular varieties, and yeah, should be really pretty when it decides to bloom. I mean, it's really pretty anyway. You can see the foliage on this one is just really nice plant to have around, but be much nicer with a flower on it. Yeah, that's it for my update on the upstairs orchids. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and you want to see more orchid videos. Hope you guys have a great week. Happy growing until I see you next time. Bye!